Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive. We're going to be looking at ElevenLabs and all the cool stuff they're doing with AI audio.
Yeah, they have some really interesting technology.
I know, right?
Mm.
I was just looking at their website before this, and wow, they have so much to offer.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much everything you could think of when it comes to AI audio.
Seriously, like
Yeah.
even just the text-to-speech stuff is already pretty impressive. But then on top of that, they have custom voices, voice cloning, a whole studio for dubbing. It's kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah, no kidding. It's like they looked at the audio landscape and said, okay, how can we completely revolutionize this using AI?
And from the looks of it, they're well on their way to doing just that.
For sure.
Okay, so maybe we should start by giving everyone a bit of an overview.
Yeah, sounds good.
So ElevenLabs is a platform that uses artificial intelligence to create and manipulate audio. And they offer a whole bunch of different tools and services, all based around this technology.
Yeah, I mean, their main focus seems to be on making high-quality audio creation accessible to, well, everyone. Like, you don't need a fancy studio or years of experience to create professional-sounding audio anymore.
Exactly. So that's what we're going to be digging into today. ElevenLabs, their tech, their vision for the future of audio, and what it all means for us.
Sounds like a plan. Where do you want to start?
Well, one of the things that immediately caught my eye was their text-to-speech engine.
Oh, yeah, that's super impressive.
They offer it in a whopping 32 languages. 32. I mean, can you imagine the possibilities there?
It's kind of crazy.
Audiobooks in every language you can think of. Global ad campaigns without needing to hire voice actors all over the world. It's like they're taking down language barriers left and right.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the number of languages either. The quality of the speech is amazing. Like, you can barely tell it's not a real person speaking.
Yeah, and they have all these options for customization, too. You can choose different accents, tones, emotions, all sorts of stuff. So you're not just stuck with one generic robotic voice.
Right. And that's where things start to get really interesting, I think. This whole idea of being able to tailor the voice to your exact needs.
Absolutely. I mean, think about it. Like for audiobooks,
Yeah.
you could choose a voice that perfectly matches the character or the tone of the book.
Totally. It would add a whole new dimension to the listening experience.
It could even open up audiobooks to people who haven't really connected with them before, you know?
Oh, for sure.
I was actually reading a testimonial on their website from this USA Today bestselling author, Leanna Morgan, and she was saying that her audiobook sales went way up after she started using ElevenLabs.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know, right? So it's clear that people are responding to this kind of personalized audio experience.
Yeah, no doubt. And it makes sense, right? We're all so used to having things tailored to our preferences these days.
Totally. And speaking of personalization, ElevenLabs also offers this voice cloning technology.
Oh, yeah, that's where things get really futuristic.
Seriously. So you're telling me I could have an AI that sounds exactly like me?
Pretty much. You record some samples of your voice, and their AI analyzes and replicates it.
Whoa. Okay, what are the implications of that? Like, I can think of a million different ways that could be used, both good and bad.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, on the one hand, you could use it for things like personalized messages, interactive learning experiences, even creating content in your own voice without actually having to record anything.
That's wild.
Right. But of course, there are ethical concerns too. Like, what if someone uses your voice without your permission?
Yeah, that's a whole other can of worms that we'll definitely need to delve into later.
For sure, we can't ignore the potential for misuse with any of this technology, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Good point.
Yeah.
So besides the text-to-speech and the voice cloning stuff, ElevenLabs also has this tier called Projects, which is specifically designed for creating audiobooks and podcasts.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. It seems like they're really trying to streamline the whole audio production process.
Make it faster, more affordable, more accessible, and potentially even more creative.
Absolutely, because if you're not limited by things like budget constraints or the availability of voice actors, you can really let your imagination run wild.
Exactly. And they're not just targeting individual creators either. They're already partnering with major publishing houses like HarperCollins.
Wow, so they're already making waves in the industry.
Big time.
Yeah.
And it's not just about audiobooks either. They've showcased their multilingual AI voice tech with NVIDIA at Computex, which is huge in the tech world.
Yeah, I saw that. They seem to be on the cutting edge of everything AI audio.
For sure. And have you heard about their Flash technology?
Tell me more.
Okay, so it's this new text-to-speech engine that they've developed, and they're claiming it's like insanely fast and realistic, like way beyond anything that's currently out there.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. What could that be used for?
Well, they're saying it has the potential to revolutionize real-time applications like video games, virtual assistants, even live translation.
That's incredible. I mean, the possibilities really do seem endless.
I know, right? It's exciting, but also a little bit daunting, to be honest.
I get that. There's definitely a lot to unpack here, both in terms of the technology itself and the ethical implications.
Absolutely. I mean, we've already touched on some of the potential downsides,
Mm.
like the whole issue of voice cloning and the possibility of creating deepfakes.
Yeah, that's definitely a valid concern. Like, how do we prevent this technology from being used for malicious purposes?
Exactly. It seems like ElevenLabs is aware of these concerns, though, because they have a whole section on their website dedicated to their AI safety approach.
No, that's good to hear.
Yeah, they talk about how they're working to prevent misuse and ensure that their technology is used ethically.
It's definitely a tightrope they're walking.
Totally.
Eh.
But I think it's great that they're at least acknowledging the potential risks and taking steps to address them.
For sure. I mean, it's up to all of us to be responsible with this technology and make sure it's used for good.
I completely agree. But, despite the challenges, I'm still super excited to see where all of this leads.
Me too. It feels like we're on the cusp of something really big here.
Totally. AI is already transforming so many different industries, and it seems like audio is next in line.
Absolutely. Who knows what the world will sound like in 5 or 10 years? It's pretty mind-blowing to think about.
Okay, so I think we've given everyone a pretty good overview of ElevenLabs and what they're all about.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
But now I want to take a moment to bring it back to you, the listener. What's resonating with you the most so far?
Yeah, what are your initial thoughts? What excites you about this technology?
What scares you? What questions are popping into your head? Hold on to those thoughts because we're going to be diving deeper into all of this in the next part of our deep dive.
We'll be exploring the potential impact of AI audio on various industries and getting into some of the ethical considerations as well.
So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
And we're back, diving right back into this wild world of ElevenLabs and AI audio.
It really is wild to think how fast all of this is developing. Like, it wasn't that long ago that AI voices were these robotic, kind of creepy things.
Yeah, like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Exactly. But now they're becoming so realistic, it's hard to tell the difference. It's actually pretty amazing, but also a little unsettling.
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's a lot to unpack here, both in terms of the possibilities and the potential risks.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But before we get into all that, I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier.
Oh, yeah.
The potential impact of AI audio on different industries, like we mentioned entertainment, accessibility, business. But I feel like we barely scratched the surface.
Totally. It's hard to even grasp the full scope of what this could mean for different sectors.
Right. Like take education, for example.
Ooh, yeah. Huge potential there.
Seriously. Imagine a world where every student has access to personalized learning experiences with textbooks read aloud in a voice they actually enjoy.
Or AI tutors who can adapt their teaching style to each student's needs.
That would be a game changer for students who struggle with traditional methods.
Absolutely. And think about language learning. AI could give you instant feedback on your pronunciation and fluency.
No more awkward classroom role plays.
Right. You could practice speaking a new language in the comfort of your own home with an AI tutor that never gets tired or impatient.
Okay, what about healthcare? We talked a bit about personalized experiences, but there are so many other applications.
Oh, yeah, definitely. AI voice assistants could take on some of the more administrative tasks for doctors and nurses.
Freeing them up to focus more on patient care.
Exactly. And it's not just about efficiency. AI could provide companionship and support to people who are elderly or isolated.
Yeah, that's a really important point. Sometimes just having someone to talk to can make a world of difference.
Right. And it doesn't have to be a human. As long as the AI is engaging and empathetic, it could fulfill that need for connection.
Okay, here's another one. What about fields like law enforcement or journalism? Could AI be used to transcribe interviews, analyze audio evidence?
Ooh. Or even generate synthetic voices for news reports to protect the anonymity of sources.
Exactly. It's kind of mind-blowing to think about.
It is. It feels like every industry we look at, there's some potential application for AI audio.
Totally. But let's not forget about the potential downsides. We have to be realistic here. With all this amazing potential comes some serious ethical considerations.
You're absolutely right. Like, as much as I love the idea of personalized learning experiences and AI companions.
We can't ignore the possibility of misuse.
Exactly. I mean, the technology's powerful. There's no doubt about that.
And with great power comes great responsibility.
A classic line, but so true in this case.
Seriously. We have to be vigilant about things like deepfakes and the potential for misinformation.
Totally. Someone could easily create fake audio to damage someone's reputation or manipulate public opinion.
Exactly. And as the technology gets more sophisticated, it's only going to get harder to distinguish real from fake.
Ugh, it's a scary thought. But I do find it somewhat reassuring that ElevenLabs seems to be taking this issue seriously.
Oh yeah, what makes you say that?
Well, they have a pretty detailed safety policy on their website, and they require all their users to agree to terms of service. Like, you can't just use their technology to create whatever you want.
Oh, it's good to know.
Yeah, there are rules in place to prevent misuse.
Well, that's definitely a step in the right direction.
Right. It's not foolproof, of course, but it shows they're aware of the potential risks and are trying to be proactive.
It's like the future of AI audio is being shaped right now. And it's up to all of us to make sure it's used ethically and responsibly.
Couldn't agree more. It's a collective effort.
Totally. Okay, so we've explored some of the potential impacts of AI audio on various industries, and we've touched on some of the ethical dilemmas that come with this powerful technology. But before we move on,
Let's hear from you, the listener.
exactly, what are your biggest takeaways so far?
What excites you the most about the future of AI audio? What are you a little bit wary of?
Share your thoughts, your hopes, your concerns. Because ultimately, this technology is going to impact all of us.
And the more we understand about it, the better equipped we'll be to navigate the challenges and harness the potential.
Exactly. So keep those thoughts in mind as we head into the final part of our deep dive, where we're going to explore some really interesting and crucial questions about the future of AI audio.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
All right, we're back and ready to wrap up our deep dive into ElevenLabs and the future of AI audio.
You know, thinking about everything we've talked about, it really hits me that this is so much bigger than just some new software.
I know what you mean. It feels like a really fundamental shift in how we think about communication, how we relate to information.
Like, for centuries, the human voice has been how we connect with each other, how we share stories and ideas. And now AI is like stepping right into that space.
Yeah. And that brings up some really profound questions, doesn't it? Like, what does authenticity even mean when anyone can create a voice that sounds just like you?
Right. Or how do you know who to trust when you can't even tell if you're listening to a real person? It's kind of scary, honestly. Yeah, no doubt. There are definitely some potential downsides to all of this. I mean, we've already talked about deepfakes and the risks of misinformation.
It's like opening up this whole new world of possibilities, but also this whole new world of potential problems.
Exactly. And I don't think anyone has all the answers right now. We're all kind of figuring this out as we go.
Totally. But, even with all the uncertainty and the risks, I still can't help but feel a little bit excited about all of that.
Oh, me too. I mean, imagine a world where language is no longer a barrier, where everyone can access information and entertainment in their preferred language, spoken in a voice that really connects with them.
Right. That's pretty amazing when you think about it.
Think about the creative possibilities, too. Authors, filmmakers, musicians, they could all use AI to push the boundaries of their art in ways we haven't even imagined yet.
Oh, and don't forget about the potential for good in areas like education, healthcare, accessibility.
Yeah, AI audio could really make a positive difference in so many people's lives.
It's like we're holding this incredibly powerful tool, and it's up to us to decide how we're going to use it. Do we let fear hold us back? Or do we embrace the possibilities and try to shape a future where AI audio actually makes the world a better place?
That's the big question, isn't it? I think we all have a responsibility to think critically about this technology, to talk about the potential benefits and risks, and to make sure it's used ethically.
Absolutely. The future of AI audio is being written right now, and we all have a role to play in shaping it. So what are you going to do? That's something for you, the listener, to think about.
Yeah, go out there, start conversations, share your thoughts and concerns, because the more we talk about this stuff, the better equipped we'll be to navigate the challenges and harness the amazing potential of AI audio.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of ElevenLabs and AI audio. We hope it's given you some food for thought and inspired you to keep exploring this fascinating and rapidly evolving field. Until next time.